Now we will see the MACA algorithm, the multiple access with collision avoidance. As usual, let's start the session with the outcomes. Upon the completion of the session, the learner will be able to, outcome number 1, we will recall the hidden terminal and exposed terminal problem, and outcome number 2, we will understand the MACA algorithm. Let's recall what is hidden terminal and exposed terminal problem. This is actually the hidden terminal problem, where A has its own coverage range, C has its own coverage range, but B is in the coverage range of both A and C. If A and C transmit their data or frames at the same time to B, then collision occur at B. But A and C are unaware of this collision because A doesn't know the existence of C and C doesn't know the existence of A. So this is actually the hidden terminal problem is. And coming to the next problem, which is the exposed terminal problem, where B has its own coverage range. In its coverage range, it has A as well as C. When B tries to send some data frames to A, C hears this because C is in the coverage range of B. But C mistakenly concludes that it cannot transmit to anybody else because it can hear the conversation of B. But this is not at all a problem because this C's transmission to D will not at all interfere with the A's ability to receive from B. But C mistakenly concludes that it cannot transmit to anybody else because it hears the conversation of B that there is an ongoing transmission. And this problem is called as an exposed terminal problem. And what's the solution for these two problems? And the solution for these two problems is IEEE 802.11 collision avoidance, that is the MACA algorithm. So 802.11 addresses these two problems with an algorithm called multiple access with collision avoidance. And what is the key idea behind this? The key idea is the sender and receiver are going to exchange control frames with each other before the sender actually transmits any data. So the point is very clear and straightforward. Before sending the data, the sender and receiver are going to exchange the control frames. And what are these control frames? And these control frames are obviously going to be the RTS and the CTS frames. What we are expecting with this exchange of control frames? Because these control frames are going to be exchanged before the data is going to be exchanged. This exchange informs all nearby nodes that a transmission is about to begin. When the control frames are exchanged, it informs all the nearby nodes that a transmission is about to begin or commence. How it is done? The sender transmits a RTS, that is request to send frame, to the receiver. What actually this RTS mean? This RTS frame include a field that indicates how long the sender wants to hold the medium, that is the length of the data it is going to transmit. Before transmitting the data, the sender will first send the RTS frame. This RTS frame will be known to all the participants in the coverage area. And this RTS frame has a field which says how long the sender, that is the transmitter, is going to hold the medium. And what the receiver will do? The receiver replies with a CTS frame. If the receiver gets the RTS and if he is okay with the transmission, then the receiver replies the sender with the CTS, that is the clear to send. And this clear to send frame echoes this length field back to the sender. And others also will be able to see the CTS. Whenever this RTS and CTS are exchanged between the sender and the receiver, others will be aware of the transmission is going to begin. And obviously RTS is transmitted by the sender and CTS is replied by the receiver. There may be some nodes which are close to the sender but not to the receiver. And there will be some nodes which are close to the receiver but not to the sender. So how this is handled? Let's see it now. Any node that sees the CTS frame, that is, who is going to transmit the CTS? The receiver. Any node that sees the CTS frame knows that it is close to the receiver and therefore it cannot transmit for the period of time it takes to send a frame of that specified length, because in the RTS there is a field how long it is going to use the channel. When the receiver is echoing with the CTS and this CTS is known by others, the other nodes can understand that the node which has sent the CTS frame is going to involve in a transmission and thereby collision is avoided. What if any node that sees the RTS frame but not the CTS frame? Who will be normally sending the RTS frame? It's the sender. So when any node that sees the RTS frame but not the CTS frame, it is not close enough to the receiver because it is able to see the RTS frame. It is close to the sender but not the CTS frame, so it is not close enough to the receiver to interfere with, and so they are free to transmit to that node. What if node sees both RTS and CTS? That's not at all a problem, because if a node can see both RTS and CTS, they are in the coverage range of a sender and the receiver, and they will be definitely aware of the transmission is going to happen between the node which has sent the RTS and the node which has replied with the CTS. And this is actually the MACA process. And we also have an enhanced version of MACA, which is MACAW. Let's see it now. The idea of using acknowledgement in MACA is proposed in MACAW, which is MACA for wireless LANs. Actually, in the MACA algorithm, there is no acknowledgements. So with MACA, an idea of using acknowledgement is proposed, and which is named as MACAW, which is MACA for wireless LANs. And what is the idea behind this? The receiver sends an acknowledgement to the sender after successfully receiving a frame. Whenever any frame is received by the receiver, it's the duty of the receiver to acknowledge the frame. And all nodes must wait for this acknowledgement before trying to transmit. So when a sender has transmitted a frame, it will not transmit the next frame before getting the acknowledgement. And if two or more nodes detect an idle link, suppose if there is an idle link and two or more nodes are detecting this idle link at the same time, so what happens? They try to transmit the RTS frame at the same time. So if two or more nodes detect an idle link and try to transmit an RTS frame at the same time, and what happens? Their RTS frames will collide with each other. Will this collision be detected? No, because IEEE 802.11 will not deal with collision detection, but it deals with collision avoidance. So IEEE 802.11 does not support collision detection. Then how this collision is known to the nodes that are sent to the RTS frames? When a node has sent an RTS frame, it will be obviously waiting for the CTS frame from the receiver. When the node which has sent the RTS frame does not get the CTS frame back, it means collision has happened. So the sender realizes the collision has happened when they do not receive the CTS frame after a certain period of time. Then what it will do? It has to retransmit. How much time it takes in order to do this retransmission? In this case, they each wait a random amount of time before trying again. The amount of time a given node delays is defined by the same exponential backoff algorithm used on the Ethernet. So in Ethernet, we have seen the exponential backoff algorithm where the retransmission process is delayed. For every retransmission attempt, it doubles the waiting time. So MACAW is also following the same exponential backoff algorithm. And this is how collision is avoided in IEEE 802.11, the Wi-Fi. And the main reasons for collision are the hidden terminal problem and the exposed terminal problem. Let's see an example how hidden terminal problem is solved in MACA algorithm. We know this is the hidden terminal problem. A, B and C are the participants. When A and C are trying to send their data frames at the same time, collision occurs at B. In this case, A and B are in the same coverage range where C is not in the same coverage range. When A wants to transmit, it first sends the RTS frame. So RTS frame will be received by B. Why? Because B alone is in the coverage range of A. C will not receive this RTS. When B is okay with this transmission, what B will do? After receiving the RTS, it will be sending the CTS. This CTS will be echoed to all the nodes in its range. B is now echoing the CTS to both A as well as C. When A receives CTS, it understands that for this RTS, it has received the CTS and these two can communicate. When C sees the CTS, it understands that somebody else is participating in the conversation with B and it defers the transmission. Thus, RTS and CTS handshaking avoids collision in Wi-Fi. And the protocol is the MACA protocol, and this problem is the hidden terminal problem. Station C does not hear RTS from A because it is not in its coverage range, but it does hear CTS from B. It can see CTS from B because it is in its coverage range. So C knows something is up, and C will not transfer because if it transfers, it will be obviously leading to collision. Thus, collision is handled effectively. And that's it, guys. We recalled the hidden terminal and exposed terminal problem, and we understood the MACA algorithm. I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and thank you.